this year be Aaron's final year, and he says, quote, "I'm pretty sure this is it. That's why we just did a one-year deal. Steelers didn't need to put any extra years on that or anything. What better place to finish than in one of the cornerstone franchises of the NFL with Mike Tomlin and a great group of leadership and great guys in a city that expects you to win." Brew, you were hot about this. You thought we could do the entire A block just on Aaron Rodgers. We won't quite do that, but your reaction?
Well, the reason that I think, and I've said it several times, this is going to be Mike Tomlin's first losing season of his career is for this reason right here. Aaron Rodgers making it about himself. And I believe him that he didn't say it totally 100% definitively, but my point is he is a better quarterback, I believe, still than Russell Wilson was last year, than Justin Fields was last year. But it's not about that with me and Aaron Rodgers. And I think this makes it about Rodgers. The story of next season for the Steelers is all going to be about, this is it. This is Aaron Rodgers' last season. That is going to override everything, unless they're great for, and really have a chance to win the AFC. But most likely, it's just going to be about Aaron Rodgers, and it'll be somewhat of a farewell tour, which I honestly think he deserves. He's one of the best ever, four-time MVP. But it's going to override everything and make it about Rodgers. I thought their best chance to do something this year is if Rodgers just goes in there, plays quarterback, lets Tomlin do his thing, the defense do their thing, and he just does his thing. And now you're going to have this whole big, huge Aaron Rodgers story overriding everything.
Because pretty sure isn't 100% sure. It leaves the door open.
Yeah.
What if he gets hurt? What if he has an amazing year and they make it to the AFC Championship game and he wants to run it back? I get why Aaron Rodgers wants to do this. The Jets thing was a disaster. Some of it bad luck with injury, some of it bad play, some of it just the Jets, right? I mean, it's not a mistake that he said, I played 18 years for a cornerstone franchise and then I want to finish with a cornerstone franchise, skipping over that Jets part. So this is a football genius. He's one of the greatest to ever do it. He's a four-time MVP. I get it, why Aaron wants it. He gets to play the Bears again. That's going to be an awesome moment. He gets to open with the Jets. For him, that will be a cool moment. He gets to play the Packers on Sunday Night Football. For him, that will
be
right, sure. Assuming health.
Yeah.
Sure. Week 8, assuming health, he will play against the Packers. I get why he wants to do it. For the Steelers, man, it's just a one-year deal with the devil. Best case scenario is what?
The best case scenario is 11 wins.
11?
I don't think that's going to happen. But I think to be fair, the best case scenario I think is 11 wins. We're talking about absolute best,
you win
and
a
they
playoff
make the
game.
Conference championship game.
Right,
That is a top 1% outcome.
Right, so Tomlin's playoff drought gets snapped at 9 years. You win double-digit games, and Rodgers retires. And then what?
Exactly.
So I get it from Aaron's perspective. I really do. The Pittsburgh side's the part that's confusing here.
Go ahead, Nick.
Listen, I first just want to level set here because we do this a lot with Aaron. He is not a credible narrator. And I think it is important to, remind the audience, or if people weren't watching the interview, right before or right after, I can't remember, he made this announcement. He also said that he relishes the day he no longer is in the spotlight because he doesn't want to be in the spotlight, and he's only in the spotlight because he plays football, which is a remarkable thing for this player in particular to have said when, in the last few years, he has been like, you know what would be fun? Being the host of Jeopardy. But then, you know what also I would like to consider? Being the vice president of the United States. You know how every NFL player has to do weekly media obligations? What if I also did 36 of the longest podcasts you've ever heard in your life? And by the way, what if I hired a film crew to make a documentary about me?
Okay, we get it. You don't like Aaron Rodgers. We get it. But there's nothing wrong with Aaron saying this right now. This is his life, his career. You want to take issue with some of his other decisions he's made? That's fine. My counter to that will be, who cares? Quite frankly. I mean, like, you know, it's just like, who really cares? What some of his views are, some of the stuff that he wants to do post his career. You know, like, it's just like, what does it matter? Especially considering how his teams and how his seasons were and his career as a whole were unfolding. You know, I mean, if he was in the heart of a run for a franchise, like how where the Eagles are right now, or the Bills and the Ravens trying to get over this hump, like, then I could understand all of the other stuff that Aaron is doing. But Aaron didn't do any of that until his playing career started to decline, so to speak. And so it's just like, well, yeah, it's kind of what happened for him, you know? But to just obsess with that every single take when discussing Aaron, and it's also hilarious that we're so confident in saying best case scenario is an AFC championship game, but they're not going to win. So you think they're going to be good enough to reach an AFC championship game, but they can't win the AFC championship game. Why are you so confident in that? Like, how are you basing that cutoff point? They're going to be able to win 2 playoff games, and it would be by just the grace of God to not have to play in one of those first 2 playoff games, because they're not going to get a bye. So they're going to have to. So in order to get to the AFC championship game, you're all but guaranteed have to go through at least one of these teams: the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Bills, like someone great in the divisional round, at least, if not the wild card round. And you're going to say, well, they can beat one of those teams, but then like they can't win. Like it just doesn't make sense. Like, that, if you want to say I predict that that's how far they can go, that's different than saying that's their best case scenario. Because you are then saying their best case scenario is that they have the inability to win the AFC championship game. And it's just like, but they can reach it? That doesn't really actually make sense. Unless we knew without a shadow of a doubt. Like, it's one thing after we're watching them play and we can see where the standings are and we're like, well, they're going to have to play the winner of the Chiefs and the Bills or something, the Bills and the Ravens. Then I could understand. That logic could make a little bit more sense to me right now. But if you're saying, hey, I think they could be potentially good enough to reach the AFC championship game, but they can't win, it's like, what? And then, Brew talking about saying, well, it's all about Aaron. He's like, well, but to be clear, he deserves it. And it's like, okay, so then why are you making a big deal about it? He's not really doing anything wrong here. And I do get the phrasing. Pretty sure it is. This is it. I mean, Tom Brady retired and said, nope, I'm back. And then he cried again. He's like, nope, this is over. Sorry, it's done. And Tom Brady didn't even, think about Tom Brady. His retirement was bizarre, the way how it unfolded. And his final year was not good. He was with, not him individually, but that team was an absolute mess. An absolute mess. They did him wrong. But, he helped make that bet as well, quite frankly. So, this is just what happens with a lot of these people. Not everybody just throws the, winning touchdown pass and then just retires and walks off to the sunset. It's not how it happens for the vast majority of people. So to hold Aaron's feet to the fire for this specific thing is kind of crazy. And then he even says something, he even says the right things here, right? About Pittsburgh. What better place to finish than in one of the cornerstone franchises of the NFL with Mike Tomlin and a great group of leadership and great guys in a city that expects you to win? I mean, we know Aaron Rodgers says whatever he wants. He easily could have been like, yeah, it's not really where I wanted to retire. But I guess, there are worse things in life. He didn't say something like that. He gave the right soundbite. He said the right thing. And listen, I'm not here trying to be on this hill defending Aaron because I actually really don't care. I really don't care. When I first saw this on social media was like, breaking, Aaron Rodgers says, pretty sure this is his final year. And it's like, breaking, whoa, oh my gosh. Old quarterback is going to maybe retire? No way. And then, like, first things first opens up with this. I'm just like, why? Why? And I'm always still conflicted. Because I never know if people still want me to, like, skip things like this as I see fit, or if just still cover it. But it's just like, to me, it's just like, I don't care. And that's why it's like when Nick was going on about, you know, podcasts and you know, his Jeopardy, I'm like, again, it's like, who actually cares about any of that right now? Seriously. And, you know, I do believe Aaron Rodgers is tortured by when to retire. That's how it happens. That's how it works. His entire life has been football. And it's soon not going to be. It's a weird thing to wrestle with. And that's okay. It's not going to be perfect. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about Aaron Rodgers? Pretty sure this is it. Do you think he's telling the truth? Do you think it's going to be all about Aaron? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment. It's whether you agree with me or disagree with me. Either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We are building an amazing community here, and I absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to. Something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. And please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help with visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.